Hi class, so this is a little video on how to get Blender. Blender is something for some students who wanted to do more lifelike simulations and get into some 3D stuff, and also one of the students wanted to program in Python with Blender for gaming. So I wanted to get these tutorials up so you guys could get to work on those as we start with our final projects. Okay, so first of all, you need admin privileges on your computer, and definitely parent permission because you are installing software on a computer. Please always get your parents' permission before doing that, unless they've already given you admin privileges and you're one of the older students. Okay, Blender is free. All this blah, 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 blah is a whole bunch of stuff to say. If you're ever asked for a credit card or to sign up for anything, don't. Somehow it's a that if you stick to the links that I provide for you, that shouldn't happen. There are some Blender lessons that you can pay for at different places. I don't recommend those. Do not tell your parents that you need them for your final project. You do not. That's what this bottom thing is. You will make a perfectly amazing final project without them, and it would probably take you over a year to get through all of the free tutorials. So don't fall for something expensive. Okay, so we click this. This will take us to, dun, 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 hopefully it will open a new link, a new page. Well, while it's thinking about that, let me take you to blender.org's main page. So blender.org is a open source 3D tool. So it's free to use for any purpose forever. So that means you can make your own apps, your own games, your own, sorry about the dog, your own three-dimensional scenes, your own three-dimensional objects. A nice thing about learning to do this is you can make things that you can put into a 3D printer, or you can put them into something like Minecraft or another gaming engine. So most of what you'll see the Blender tutorials about are things having to do with 3D images. So if you look at most of the tutorials, I'm going to, in a later video, recommend Blender Fundamentals. But they're mostly about creating three-dimensional objects like game assets, making new ships that you would, put on an asset thing. Here's human modeling, mechanical modeling. So this is all about making things that are 3D, not necessarily programming in a game. What we're going to look at in a few minutes in a different video is we're going to look at Python scripting in the game engine, and that's one of the tutorials I'm going to walk you step by step through this free tutorial. So I will provide a link to this later on the page, and what I'm going to do is go back and forth in little videos and things for you to see how each of these steps should go and how you move from Scratch into something like this. First of all, notice there's a place for scripts, just like in Scratch. There is a place for your sprites and things to show up. They're also called assets or sprites. And then there's going to be a bunch of other menus, most of which we're not going to use, and that's just going to have to be okay. Blender is a tool where people are developing new menus, new features that it can do all the time. It's a massive volunteer open source project, and so most of the menus we are not going to use because this will do many, many, many different things. But sometimes gifted kids can stress about that because they feel like they have to know what each part does before they do stuff with it. Just please, this is not going to happen for this thing. We're going to walk through a specific tutorial, and then as you're working with your final project, I will help you with any bugs that you come up with. Okay, so let's see if it's going to, oh, here's the download page. Okay, so when you're on the download page, please do not, no, negatory, do not get the new experimental stuff. No, 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 no. It looks fun because there's a rocket ship. Please don't, because as we're coming up with bugs, we won't be able to tell if it's us, you and me, because I'm with you on this, or somebody else that we're doing as pair programmers. I won't be able to tell if it's us or the new stuff. So please just go to the download Blender there, and you'll have to select your operating system. And So you can just download Blender from here, and it's a Windows 64-bit installer. If you have a Windows 64-bit machine, you're done. If you have anything else, you're going to have to go and select it from here. I don't know how to run it in Steam, so I really don't recommend you getting it in Steam. But if you want to get the Windows or the Mac OS, or even the Linux if you have that. Okay, and I also don't recommend the source code. We're not going to recompile Blender. That is beyond my pay grade. Okay, so that's our little intro. If your parents are concerned about what this is, it's totally free. It's open source. There's a lot of benefits to it with the 3D printing world, with 3D imaging, with there's a lot of math and science that you can work with. There's a physics simulation engine in Blender that people do research level stuff with, so it's a very sophisticated tool. And it's this wonderful free open source community where people are doing this together as a joint project. So it makes me kind of happy about humanity. So, okay, so that is where to get Blender. I'm going to put a link to this on our Blender page. And as I'm doing these little videos, you will see this Blender page fill up with stuff. All right, bye.